Well, the new Yes album's called Magnification.
It's a joint Beyond Yes production.
We usually have a chalkboard in the studio, either in the studio itself or where we actually record, and people just scribble like names on it, and there's all these names kept coming up, and then you go back the next day and somebody rub one name out and put something else in, and then it eventually builds itself into a list.
I knew before we started the album, magnification was the word. I don't know why I knew that, but I just knew it.
What it signifies to me is the idea of Yes kind of increasing what it is, which we've done mainly through the orchestra.
Magnification eventually became the idea to magnify everything that's good around you in order to magnify everything that is good within you.
We made a conscious decision to go into the studio with just John, Alan, Steve and myself, was because we knew that we wanted to give it an orchestral treatment.
We just decided, let's find a good arranger. And Larry Grupe came, somebody sent a CD of The Contender, and I loved his harmony. I loved the style.
He works a lot with San Diego Symphony Orchestra, and he's done, I think he's done like half a dozen movie soundtracks.
We actually wrote the songs before he did the arrangements. He never actually wrote any songs with us.
As we were kind of recording, we left the space for an orchestra. We had it in our mind that this part would definitely be orchestrated in this section.
We did try to always think, well, you know, there's going to be some kind of orchestral treatment here, so maybe we'll make this pause a little longer, or we'll make this, you know, a gap before the next section comes in, a bit longer.
There was a lot of thought that went into kind of just putting the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together.
It made us ask a lot of questions about what we do and how we do it, because suddenly we had an orchestra to think about. But the outcome seems to have been something that reached its goal.
We actually finished the song, and we would send him the CD, and he would do his arrangement and bring it back.
He'd orchestrate it on a keyboard to say what he was planning on doing, and we'd kind of give a yay and nay to certain parts and work with him in defining what should be right.
You know, like anything, if it's fresh to your ears, it's always a joyful experience, if the guy's good, you know. So that worked.
Not having a featured, or in fact a keyboard player on the album, made quite a difference.
We didn't want to clutter it up with any unnecessary keyboard parts, so we wanted to make it as basic as possible, so he had like a good blueprint to dress up with, you know, with his arrangements.
This was the first album that we just wrote songs every day. I didn't bring in a bunch of songs. I could have brought in a bunch of songs, but I definitely didn't want to do it that way. So I'd bring in ideas.
Yes tend to work best when people don't come in with finished songs.
We all go in with ideas. I have bunches of tapes, DAT tapes, and we all have those kind of tapes in our background, and then of course the other people around you who are talented, like John and Steve and Chris, can take something that's very basic, and we can make it in and weave it into something that's got input from everyone.
So it's that kind of sharing that makes Yes great. But a really good teamwork record was the trademark for Yes in the 70s.
One of the nice things about this album, it was completely the band interplay to make it what it was. It was a very democratic album.